All right, so you're prepping for an environmental health inspector interview.
That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We're going to dive into these RoleCatcher resources
Okay.
and hopefully turn you into an interview rock star.
Sounds good.
Think of this deep dive as your backstage pass,
Okay.
not just to see the questions, but how to answer them like a seasoned pro.
I like that.
So let's jump right in
Let's do it.
to a classic.
Okay.
What inspired you to pursue this career? Seems simple enough,
It does.
but I bet there's more to it than meets the eye.
Absolutely.
Oh,
There is.
lovely.
It may seem like a simple question, but you really want to think back to that defining moment,
Like what?
an experience, a news story, anything that sparked that passion for public health and the environment.
Okay.
So think back. Did you see a polluted river as a kid?
Okay.
Were you inspired by a family member working in public health?
Hmm.
This is your chance to really connect your personal story with the role.
So it's about showcasing that genuine drive.
Yep.
Not just saying I care about the environment.
Exactly. You want to go beyond that generic answer.
Right.
And here's the kicker. Connect that inspiration to a skill you've developed.
Okay.
So maybe witnessing an environmental issue ignited your curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
making you a lifelong learner who's always researching the latest regulations. It shows you're proactive and dedicated to the field.
So you're not just talking the talk, but you're
Yes.
walking the walk.
You're showing them that you're actively involved.
That's a great way to add depth and make it memorable.
Yes, it is.
Now, how about the question of staying updated? How do you stay up to date with the latest regulations and best practices?
This is where you prove you're in the loop
Okay.
and name drop some specific resources like NE, the National Environmental Health Association.
So name-dropping any is a good move.
It is. They are the gold standard.
What else can you highlight?
Definitely mention specific publications, conferences, or websites you follow.
Like what?
Do you subscribe to the Journal of Environmental Health? Have you attended any webinars on emerging contaminants? The more specific you are, the better.
So you're showing them
Yes.
that you are engaged.
Yeah. You're not just aware of the field, you're actively engaged in it.
Now, let's walk through a scenario.
Okay.
How do you approach a site inspection? I imagine this is where you paint a picture for them.
It is. You're giving them that virtual tour of your process.
Okay.
You might start by mentioning any preliminary research you'd do.
Like what?
Reviewing past inspection reports,
Okay.
understanding the site's history, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Then walk them through your on-site steps.
Okay, so would you approach a factory inspection differently than, say, a restaurant inspection?
Absolutely. You would tailor your answer to the specific role that you're interviewing for.
Uh-huh.
So for a factory, you might prioritize air quality, waste management, chemical storage.
Uh-huh.
In a restaurant, it's all about food handling, sanitation, pest control.
It shows you can adapt and you understand the nuances of different environments.
It does.
Okay, let's talk about a tougher scenario.
Right.
How do you handle situations where a site is not in compliance with environmental regulations?
This is where diplomacy meets firmness. Our goal is to protect public health
Okay.
while guiding businesses towards compliance. You're not there to shut them down. You're there to help them get back on track.
So it's about finding that balance between enforcement and collaboration.
Exactly.
Right.
You might mention strategies like providing clear explanations of the violations, offering guidance on corrective actions, setting reasonable deadlines.
Okay.
You want to highlight your ability to work with people while upholding regulations.
Now, a question that always comes up.
Okay.
How do you balance the need for environmental protection with the economic considerations of businesses and industries?
It's a classic for a reason. You need to show them that you understand both sides.
Okay.
Think of real-world examples where you found that sweet spot.
Okay.
Maybe you helped a company implement a waste reduction program that saved them money.
And reduce their environmental impact.
It's a win-win.
It is.
Right?
It shows you're not just focused on penalties. You're looking for solutions that benefit everyone.
Now imagine you're using RoleCatcher to prep for this interview.
Okay.
Their AI would analyze this specific job description and highlight what this company values most.
Yes.
So let's say they emphasize sustainability and community partnerships in their mission statement.
Okay.
So RoleCatcher is helping me tailor my answers to this specific company.
Exactly. It's giving you that insider edge.
Generic answers.
Yes, and making sure that your answers resonate with what this company cares about.
So RoleCatcher's AI is giving me that insider edge.
Precisely.
It's like having a personalized interview coach
It is.
guiding me every step of the way.
Yes. It is.
That's really cool.
All right, so are you ready to tackle another question?
Absolutely. Bring it on.
Welcome back to our deep dive
Okay, we're back.
into prepping for your environmental health inspector interview. Ready to keep uncovering these interview gems.
Let's do it.
Last time we tackled questions about inspiration and staying current, even touched on how RoleCatcher personalizes our approach.
Yes.
What's next on our agenda?
Well, let's shift gears
Okay?
and talk about those tricky situational questions.
Like what?
You know, the ones where they put you in a hypothetical scenario
Right.
and see how you react?
Uh.
Remember those career insights from RoleCatcher?
Yeah.
They can be incredibly helpful here.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
Give me an example of how those insights come into play.
All right. So let's say they ask you,
Okay.
how would you handle a situation where you need to explain a complex regulation to a community group who are concerned about a potential environmental hazard?
Hmm.
This is a test of your communication skills,
Okay.
but also your ability to connect with people and
Uh-huh.
address their concerns.
So it's about more than just spitting out the facts. It's about understanding their perspective and building trust.
Exactly. Now, remember how RoleCatcher mentioned that senior environmental health inspectors often engage in community outreach and education?
Right.
That's a valuable insight you can weave into your answer.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So instead of just saying I'd explain the regulation clearly,
Yeah.
I could say something like, I understand that community concerns are crucial, and I'd approach this situation with empathy and a commitment to transparency.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm very interested in the community engagement aspect of this role,
Yeah.
and I see it as an opportunity to educate and empower residents to be active partners in protecting their environment.
Now you're hitting all the right notes.
Okay.
You're acknowledging their concerns,
Uh-huh.
emphasizing your commitment to open communication,
Right.
and showcasing your understanding of the broader role of an environmental health inspector.
So showing them that I'm thinking big picture, not just
Yeah.
the day-to-day.
You got it.
That's a great example. It shows how those career insights can really add depth and strategic thinking to my answers.
It does. It really demonstrates that you've thought about the different facets of the role
Mm-hmm.
and how your skills align with the bigger picture.
Okay.
Now, let's imagine you're using RoleCatcher
Okay.
to prep for a specific job,
Okay.
like an inspector position focused on air quality monitoring in an industrial area.
Okay. So very specialized role.
Yes, with its own unique set of challenges.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's AI would analyze that job description,
Oh.
the company's website,
Uh-huh.
even news articles about the company,
Okay.
to get a deep understanding of their priorities and values.
To really tailor it.
Yes. And then it would help you tailor your answers to resonate specifically with them.
Okay. So it's not just generic advice.
No, it's customized guidance.
Based on the specific company and role.
Exactly.
Got it
And
here.
in this case, the company might prioritize technical expertise, data analysis,
Uh-huh.
and collaboration with industry stakeholders.
So very specific to that role.
Yeah.
So when they ask me about my approach to site inspections, RoleCatcher might suggest I emphasize my experience with air quality monitoring equipment,
Yes.
my ability to interpret complex data sets, or my success in working with industrial facilities to implement emission reduction strategies.
You got it.
It might even suggest I share a specific example where I used data analysis to identify an air quality issue, collaborated with a company to find a solution, and ultimately improved air quality for the surrounding community.
Exactly.
So it gives me those talking points that are really going to resonate with them.
Yes, it does. That's incredibly helpful. It is. It's like having a behind-the-scenes look at the company's expectations, so you can tailor your responses to perfectly match what they're looking for.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Let's dive into another challenging situational question.
Okay.
How would you handle a situation where you discover a minor violation, but the business owner is argumentative and refuses to acknowledge the issue?
This one's all about staying calm under pressure and finding a way to de-escalate the situation.
Right, so it's about finding that balance between being assertive and being understanding.
It is.
Right.
You might start by reiterating the specific regulation
Okay.
and explaining the potential risks associated with the violation,
Uh-huh.
but in a calm and non-confrontational manner.
Okay.
You could say something like, I understand that you might disagree with this particular regulation, but it's in place to protect both the environment and public health, and it's important that we work together to ensure compliance.
Okay. That's a good starting point. It acknowledges their perspective while still emphasizing the importance of the regulation.
Now, here's where you can showcase your problem-solving skills.
Okay.
Instead of getting into an argument,
Right.
you could offer to provide additional resources or guidance to help them understand the regulation and the necessary corrective actions. You could say, I'd be happy to provide you with some additional information about this regulation or connect you with resources that can help you address the issue. My goal is to support you in achieving compliance and ensure the safety of your business and the community.
Okay, so shift the focus from confrontation to collaboration.
Exactly.
Show them you're there to help.
And remember, if you're using RoleCatcher to prep for this interview, their AI might analyze the company's culture and suggest specific approaches based on their values.
So tailor it even more.
Yes. For example, if they emphasize a collaborative approach to problem solving, RoleCatcher might suggest you highlight your skills in conflict resolution and mediation.
It's amazing how RoleCatcher can tailor my prep to be so specific and targeted. I'm definitely feeling more confident and prepared.
That's what we're here for. Now let's talk about another type of situational question.
Okay.
The kind that tests your ethical judgment. Imagine they ask you, what would you do if you discovered a serious violation during an inspection, but the business owner offered you a bribe to overlook it?
This one's a no-brainer, right?
It should be.
You have to uphold the law
Yeah.
and your ethical obligation.
Yes. It's crucial to demonstrate your unwavering commitment to integrity and ethical conduct.
No matter what.
You might say something like, I appreciate the offer, but I'm bound by a strict code of ethics, and accepting a bribe would be a violation of my professional responsibilities and the law. My duty is to protect public health and the environment, and I take that responsibility very seriously.
And that is the correct answer.
Yes. It is.
It leaves no room for doubt
No.
about your ethical stance.
And you can reinforce your commitment to ethical conduct by mentioning that you're familiar with the relevant codes of ethics for environmental health professionals.
Okay.
And that you're dedicated to upholding those standards.
And now let's talk about a question that often throws people off. Can you describe a time when you had to deal with a difficult or confrontational person during an inspection and how you handled the situation? This one can feel a bit like a trap.
It can be tricky, but it's also an opportunity to showcase your communication skills and your ability to stay calm under pressure.
Oh.
Remember, it's not about revealing personal details or bad-mouthing anyone. It's about demonstrating your professionalism and your ability to navigate challenging interpersonal dynamics.
Okay, so how would you approach this question?
Start by emphasizing your commitment to remaining calm and professional, even in the face of hostility.
Okay.
You might say something like, I understand that inspections can sometimes be stressful for businesses, and I always try to approach them with respect and understanding. If someone is feeling agitated, I try to listen to their concerns and find a way to address them in a constructive manner.
Okay, that's a good starting point.
Yeah.
It shows empathy and a willingness to listen.
Now, you can share a brief example, but keep it anonymous.
Okay.
And focus on the positive outcome. You could say, in a previous role, I encountered a business owner who was upset about the inspection process. I took the time to listen to their concerns, explain the regulations clearly, and offer solutions to help them achieve compliance. Ultimately, we were able to work together effectively, and the business owner expressed appreciation for my professionalism and understanding.
So turn a negative situation into a positive one.
Exactly.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
It demonstrates your ability to de-escalate a situation, find common ground, and achieve a positive resolution.
And if you're using RoleCatcher to prep for this interview, their AI might analyze the company's values and suggest specific approaches based on their culture.
Okay.
For example, if they emphasize a customer-centric approach, RoleCatcher might suggest you highlight your ability to build rapport and create positive interactions even in challenging situations.
Again, tailoring the answers to the specific
Yes, to that specific company.
It's fascinating how RoleCatcher can provide such tailored guidance based on the specific company and role. I'm feeling more confident and prepared with each question we cover.
That's what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up part 2,
Okay.
let's talk about another question that can be a bit tricky.
All right.
Can you describe a time when you made a mistake during an inspection and what you learned from it?
Oh, this one feels a bit like a minefield. Nobody wants to admit to making mistakes,
I know.
especially in a job interview.
It can be uncomfortable, but it's also an opportunity to demonstrate your self-awareness,
Okay.
your commitment to continuous learning, and your ability to take responsibility for your actions.
Okay.
Remember, everyone makes mistakes, but it's what you learn from them that matters most.
Okay. So how do you recommend approaching this question?
Well, first, choose an example that is relatively minor
Uh-huh.
and doesn't reflect poorly on your overall competence.
Okay.
Then focus on the steps you took to correct the mistake,
Okay.
the lessons you learned,
Yeah.
and how you've applied those lessons to improve your work.
So show them that you learned from it
Yes,
and that you're better because of it.
exactly.
Okay. Could you give me an example?
Sure. You could say something like, early in my career, I made a mistake during a routine inspection by overlooking a potential violation. I immediately reported the error to my supervisor, took steps to rectify the situation, and learned a valuable lesson about the importance of thoroughness and attention to detail. From that experience, I developed a system for double-checking my work and ensuring that I never overlook even the smallest details.
Okay. That's a great example.
It
It
is.
shows accountability, a commitment to learning,
Yes.
and a proactive approach to preventing future errors.
And if you're using RoleCatcher to prep for this interview, their AI might analyze the company's values and suggest specific approaches based on their culture.
Okay.
For example, if they emphasize a culture of continuous improvement,
Okay.
RoleCatcher might suggest you highlight your ability to learn from your mistakes and implement strategies to enhance your performance.
Wow. RoleCatcher really takes interview prep to a whole new level.
It does.
I'm feeling more and more prepared with each question we cover.
That's fantastic to hear.
Yeah.
Remember, preparation is key to interview success, and with RoleCatcher's personalized guidance, you'll be well equipped to tackle those tough questions and showcase your unique skills and qualifications.
That's right.
Now let's take a short break,
Okay.
and when we come back in part 3, we'll wrap up our deep dive with some final tips and strategies to help you ace that interview.
Okay, we're back for the final part of our Environmental Health Inspector interview, Deep Dive.
All right.
We've covered a ton of ground already, from nailing those tricky situational questions to harnessing the power of RoleCatcher's AI
It's been a lot.
for personalized prep.
It has.
What's next on our agenda?
Now we're going to shift gears and talk about a crucial aspect of the interview.
Okay.
Asking insightful questions.
Wow.
Remember, an interview isn't just about them evaluating you.
Right.
It's also a chance for you to gather information and assess whether this role and this organization are the right fit for you.
So it's about being an active participant.
Yeah.
Not just passively answering questions. I like that.
Exactly.
But what kind of questions should you even ask?
Great question. Think about questions that demonstrate your genuine interest in the role, the company, and the field.
Okay.
You want to avoid questions that could easily be answered with a quick Google search
Okay.
or that focus solely on salary and benefits.
So no asking about vacation time in the first interview.
Right, exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
What are some examples of insightful questions that would really impress them?
Well, you could ask about specific projects or initiatives that the team is currently working on.
Okay.
It shows you've done your research and you're eager to contribute.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could ask about the company's approach to professional development and training opportunities. It demonstrates your commitment to continuous learning and growth.
Okay. So it shows you're thinking beyond the immediate job and considering your long-term career path. What about questions related to the company's culture or values?
Absolutely. You could ask about the company's commitment to sustainability
Uh-huh.
or their efforts to promote diversity and inclusion in the workplace.
Okay.
This shows that you're not just looking for a job, you're looking for a company whose values align with your own.
So it's about finding that perfect match, not just settling for any job.
Exactly.
Now, I bet RoleCatcher's AI could also be helpful here, right?
You bet RoleCatcher can analyze the company's website,
Uh-huh.
news articles, even social media posts to identify key themes and values that the company prioritizes.
Really get that inside scoop.
Yes, and then it can suggest questions that align with those themes,
Okay.
helping you make a strong impression
Uh-huh.
and demonstrate your genuine interest in the company.
It's like having a personal research assistant, uncovering those hidden gems and helping me craft the perfect questions.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's all about taking your interview prep to the next level and setting yourself apart from the competition. Now let's shift gears and talk about another important aspect of the interview.
Okay.
Body language and nonverbal communication.
Oh,
Remember, it's not just about what you say, it's also about how you present yourself.
so first impressions matter, even in a virtual interview.
They do.
What are some key things to keep in mind?
Well, first and foremost, make eye contact.
Okay.
It might sound simple, but it conveys confidence, engagement, and respect.
Yeah.
If you're in a virtual interview, make sure you're looking directly at the camera,
Right.
not at your own image on the screen.
So it's like making eye contact with the interviewer through the lens. Makes sense.
Right?
What else should I pay attention to?
Your posture. Sit up straight, shoulders back, chin up.
Okay.
It projects confidence and professionalism.
Okay.
Avoid slouching or fidgeting, as this can convey nervousness or disinterest.
Good posture check. Anything else?
Be mindful of your facial expressions. Smile.
Okay.
It shows that you're approachable, enthusiastic, and genuinely interested in the conversation. Avoid frowning or looking bored, even if you're feeling a bit nervous.
So project that positive energy even if you have butterflies in your stomach. I can do that.
Good. And don't forget about your hands.
Oh, right.
Use them to emphasize your points, but avoid excessive gesturing or fidgeting, as this can be distracting.
So keep those hand gestures purposeful and professional.
Exactly.
Now, I bet RoleCatcher's AI can provide feedback on body language as well.
Right. You're catching up. RoleCatcher can analyze your practice videos and point out any distracting habits,
Like what?
like fidgeting or avoiding eye contact.
Okay.
It can also provide tips on how to improve your posture, your hand gestures, and your overall presence.
So really help you fine-tune those nonverbal cues.
Yes.
That's amazing. It's like having a personal image consultant, helping make a lasting impression.
Exactly. Now, as we wrap up this final part of our interview, Deep Dive, I want to emphasize one last point.
Okay.
Be yourself. Authenticity is key. Let your passion, your enthusiasm, and your unique personality shine through.
So don't try to be someone you're not. Just be the best version of yourself.
Exactly. Remember, they're not just looking for someone who knows the right answers. They're looking for someone who's a good fit for their team, someone who's genuinely passionate about environmental health, and someone who's eager to make a difference.
That's such great advice.
Yeah.
I'm feeling so much more prepared and confident after this deep dive. Thank you for all the incredible insights and tips.
You're welcome. Remember, with thorough preparation, insightful questions, confident body language, and a dash of authenticity, you'll be well equipped to ace that interview and land your dream job as an environmental health inspector.
That's right. And don't forget, RoleCatcher is your secret weapon, providing personalized guidance and support every step of the way. We wish you the best of luck in your job search.
Good luck. You've got this.